Now, before you read the title and judge me, I just want to say I would never ever do something like this. I don't promote promiscuity. I'm a loyal and God-fearing man, so y'all know I would never ever even think about cheating on my barber. Oh, and my girl too. But in life, I feel like everyone's entitled to cheating on just one thing, and that's a school test. And before you guys go, but I would never cheat on a test, just study and blah blah blah, shut the fuck up. I had better things to do in the ninth grade than open a chemistry textbook on a Saturday and study for a test, like stunting on my hoes. Nah, but for real though, make sure to study every once in a while, cause this story is gonna teach y'all on why you should study. Now, before my freshman year, my two best subjects in school was science and English. I was Shakespeare mixed with a little Albert Einstein, know what I'm saying? Now, freshman year, I was taking chemistry, and I was doing decent the first month or so. It was regular science, and I was low-key interested in the class. That is until one day out of nowhere, I get handed a chem worksheet by the teacher. And when I look at the paper, I'm seeing fucking equations on this shit. And if y'all know me, I hate math. I'm not good at it, and that shit's just boring in my opinion that nobody cares about. Now, I don't know which dickhead decided to start putting math problems in chem, but I'd be damned if I was going to do any more math than I already had to. And I used to have chemistry right after basketball. So you want to know how I spent that class period? I was napping every class for 2 weeks straight in the back of the room. So 2 weeks passed, and I'm not learning a flying fuck in that class. And I'm not doing the homework either. And then one day I walked into the classroom, and I see the teacher handing out a test. Now, I already knew I was cooked when I walked in, but I didn't realize how cooked I actually was. Because 2 days later, after I took the test, I walked into the class and saw the teacher writing the highest test score, the lowest test score, and the class average. I saw the lowest test score was 16%, and in my head I'm thinking, what dumbass got a 16? I at least got some of the questions right, but then the teacher starts handing the test back, and when I got mine, I realized I was that dumbass, and I vowed right then and there, I would never allow myself to look that stupid. Now y'all might think after this, I made sure I studied and was well prepared for the next test, but you're wrong, because instead me and a couple of my homies decided the best way to not look stupid was to form a cheat group. So we would all sit in a row and start throwing up fingers and hand signs so that we knew what the correct answer was. Because all these tests were multiple choice. So the first person in the row who would actually come prepared would throw up a sign, then the person behind them would, and that pattern would kind of continue until the end of the row. And we were in business for a hot minute. My grade made the meanest comeback of all time. Until one day, me and my homies are throwing up the signs again, and when I looked up to signal the person behind me, I made direct eye contact with the teacher, and she's looking pissed. So I already knew she had caught us. So she called all of us into the hallway, and once we all took the walk of shame out the room, she starts questioning us why did I see the five of you throwing up the same fingers? And we all start stuttering, trying to come up with an excuse, and then this one dumbass decides to go, you see, miss, we're actually in a gang. Now, I don't know if bro was trying to be funny or if he actually thought that would work, but all of us just kind of turned to him and go dude, what the fuck are you saying? And the teacher goes, wow, smart answer. Now imagine if you tried just as hard on studying, then we wouldn't have to cheat now, would we? So basically she confirmed she caught her asses red-handed, and then she told us she was going to give us all zeros on the test, and that she caught us cheating on a test again, she was going to call our homes. And that stopped me for cheating for a good while, because there was nothing that scared me more than my mom and her slipper of judgment. So me and all my homies, except the smart one, proceeded to fail the next two tests. So now the semester was almost done, and my chem grade was looking even lower than my IQ. I only had one chance to not go to summer school, and that was to pass the final. So I knew I had to lock the fuck in and actually study, because if my mom found out I failed chem and I had to go to summer school, my ass was toast. So I actually spent the weekend studying and actually memorizing all the chem formulas for the math shit. And the day of the final rolled around, and I walked into that classroom confident as hell, this test ain't got shit on me. Except I was fucking wrong, because I spent so much time studying for the math part, I didn't know shit except that. And at first I was ready to take my L to the chin like a man, but then I thought of the burning feeling of my mom's slipper on my cheeks, and the even hotter feeling of them burning away at summer school. And I knew they shut off the ACs during summer school, so I could not let that happen to me. So I whip out my phone under the desk and start cheating on this test. And this was fucking mission impossible, because the teacher was actively walking around the room. So I cheated as much as I could without getting caught, and I can't lie, there was a few close-ass calls where I definitely thought I got caught, but I managed to keep the phone hidden. But because I had to cheat on so much questions, I left OD questions blank by the time the test was over. So I hand the teacher my test and walk out the classroom depressed as fuck, thinking that I only had a few days of freedom left before my mom whooped my ass and I got sentenced to summer school. So a few days go by with me sulking when report cards come in the mail. So I'm scared as fuck while opening it. But when I checked my chem grade, I actually passed with a 65, which was the lowest grade you can get before failing. So I'm hype as fuck, and I go to show my mom, and I'm like, look, mom, I passed chem. But shit, my efforts weren't appreciated enough because the grade was so low, my mom still beat my ass. But even that couldn't blow my high because I was just happy I wouldn't be sweating my balls off in summer school. So the next morning, I walked out the crib, cheeks still sore as fuck, but smiling wide as shit, just happy to start my first day of summer vacation. Now I could give y'all some meaningful lesson, but fuck math and anything related to it. So the moral of this story is, it ain't cheating if you don't get caught.